your team and how the expectations, how's the first game, if you can just tell us?
Yeah, so first game unfortunately we lost to Icebreakers itself, your team. You were pretty much a part of that match. It was a fun match to watch. It was a lot of great spirit on the field itself. It was nice to watch till the halftime. I think we were pretty much equal, but then post the halftime, I think your team pulled away with the experience and the sets that you have of players, and that is something we picked up from the first game, and we hope to carry to the next game. A lot of learnings that we have from the first game.
Super. Okay, so a little bit about Bombay Bantais as well, guys. So जैसा कि बताया है मैंने, so we are not able to unfortunately read the comments, guys. So मैं हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों के बीच में स्विच करते रहूँगा. So if anybody feels that it is not right, then please sorry about that, we can't really hear the comments. So little information about the Bombay Bantais. तो Bombay Bantais जो है वो own करते हैं जो है तुहिन शर्मा है, and they have one of the best players of course from Mumbai Ultimate जो मकसूद चौधरी है, and the maximum amount in fact Tuhin has also spent by at the time of making his team was on Maqsood Chaudhary. Of course Pandeyji's cutting chai was also behind him, but at the end of the day Tuhin was the one who got the bid. So because they have spent a little bit more, which is what the popular opinion is on Mac, so they do have a side which is very new and fairly young. You obviously have Dexter, who's also a captain of the team. Then you have Rakesh, जो Storm के लिए काफ़ी सालों से खेलते हैं,
Yes.
and he's a stable handler. He's come back especially for the MUL as well. They do have some of the other players as well, like Tuhin as well. Sid Tataria भी है जो Rascals के लिए पहले Storm के लिए खेलते थे, now he plays for Rascals. So overall I would say it's a balanced side, but yes, there is a little bit more dependency on Mac and Dexter. So it will really be interesting to watch how the matchups happen. क्योंकि Nikhil, what I feel is that in terms of your team as well, I mean there are a lot of, it's a good balanced side, but of course you have Ganesh, who's naturally represented the national team. He's a leader by natural ability, although he's not the captain. I think Sahil is the captain.
Sahil is the captain.
If you just like to talk a little bit about your team and the formation.
Yeah, so the same thing with our team formation. We spent quite a bit on. Yeah. Yeah, so back to what we were talking about. Of course, we do have Ganesh with us, but Sahil has been chosen the captain for the team because I think it was high time that we start allocating roles to a few more people in this team. We also have Vikas coming up as another captain to support Sahil, to support the young side, and our spirit captain is Bhavya. Overall, the team is looking to sort of leverage the pairing of Vikram and Sahu, and also the pairing of Parshuram and Vikas, because these guys have played together with each other. So that way, we hope to sort of support, pick out 2-3 people, let them make the game, and everybody else just supports them in every point. So every point will have different pairings.
Got it. So guys, the game is set, और जो what it looks like is that Bombay Bantais is on defense, and Bombay Bantais की line at this point in time, what I can see is Mac, Maqsood Chaudhary is holding the disc. You have Sid Tataria, you have Manini, who's also specially coming from the MUL. She's a player of Storm. You have Akash, you have Karan, who's a new joinee from Storm as well. And the pull has happened. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Has it gone out of bounds? Yes, it has gone out of bounds. I didn't really see a brick call at this point. So maybe a sideline start. Yes, it has. It's a nice crossfield throw to change the play, and it looks like Bombay Bantais has not really got the strategy at this point of time of what the force is, because from the looks of it, they seem to be breaking all forces. Nikhil, Ganesh is at the disc now, Parshuram has it now.
Our aim has been from the last match just to make sure that we don't get stuck on the sidelines. So we'll be looking to do a lot of those breakthroughs, given the experience of different players, in spite of them being very young. We are seeing the disc move very nicely, very smoothly up the field. This is pretty much a decent play till now. We are not given any opportunities to Bombay Bantais.
Yeah, it looks actually, if the game continues, although this is the first point, but to be very honest, if the game continues like this, it seems that Cutting Chai will find it extremely easy, because they are breaking throws both on backhand as that's a great D. That is Karan. He's the new recruit from Storm and he's been working really hard. And Maqsood now has the disc. A quick cut in. That's a nice grab, good downfield throw. Dhwani has, that was a really nice breakthrough, but a simple catch was put down. The disc again is with Cutting Chai, and it looks like they might try and score.
Why then is it?
Yeah, we are back. The disc is still with Cutting Chai. It's a very nice move, very chilly offense that they are playing. Not making any hurried passes, any hugs, any hammers. Sticking to the basics, short passes, just a bit of upline, a few bait throws, and that's There's a bit of collision between Sahil and Sid Tataria. Hello listeners. Hello audience, we're back. We're still on the first point between Bombay Bantais and Cutting Chai. Cutting Chai has a disc. Disc has a bit of turnovers in this. That's a beautiful take on the sidelines by Vikas. Yeah. Still on the first point. That's a great D by Siddharth Tataria. The disc was in the air for quite some time. They had the opportunity.
So this is genuinely a very long point. And that is again a downfield. It's another turnover. So I think at this point of time, a lot of our viewers must have forgotten who actually started on defense and who started on offense. But we obviously remember it was Cutting Chai who started on offense, and they've literally played a very nice and a steady game. They've been working the disc up, but it's always in the final throw. Just that end throw is when they're having a challenge. And again, now it's become a little risky as well, Pandeyji, with the throws, because suddenly the conditions have changed. 15 minutes back it was quite sunny. Now we obviously have a lot of rain, and with the rains, the disc is starting to slip. See, you can see the hurried throws which are happening. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Bhavya, who's playing on Cutting Chai as well. The match against Icebreakers as well. She actually gave a lot of good in cuts, which was really nice to see. In this game as well, she again had a very nice put. She threw it, but unfortunately Sahil just could not hold on to the disc. Otherwise, Cutting Chai would have got the first score. But yeah, and there comes the hammer. That is a risky throw. It looks like, oh, okay, there is a foul which is being called. But as you can understand, with the stall count going up, he obviously went in and took the shot for the hammer. To me, honestly, it looked as if he was not really going to get that. So we'll have to wait for the call, whether it's accepted or contested. The call is still going on, and there's a perspective which has been given by Mac as well. So in terms of overall play at this point of time as well, if you see, I think Cutting Chai is looking like a much more stronger, more balanced team, where they are finding it very easy to put the field. It's just at the end throw, the final throw correction to score. There it is. That is a great hold on, and you can really hear Nikhil Pandey, Cutting Chai's owner, clapping in and applauding that point.
Given the rains, the visibility conditions, and the disc slipping off, that was a very great grab by Parshuram. Like, he just held on to the disc. It almost seemed like 2-3 times that he would drop it. He was like almost juggling it. But it was a great point. That's the end of first point. Pretty well done on both sides. I think both sides played very decently, very calmly. They collected it well. There were a few turnovers, but luckily this time they scored at the end zone. That was a good throw by Bhavya and great catch by Parshuram.
Right, for all the listeners who are actually thinking that there is a Bhavya here, there's a Bhavya there. That is Bhavya Jain, who plays for, of course, Jimbish, and she's now obviously playing for Cutting Chai. So Cutting Chai ने अपना खाता खोल दिया है, and we have moved a little bit to Hindi commentary as well for all our Hindi listeners. तो हम थोड़ी मस्ती भी करेंगे गाइस, एकदम सीरियस नहीं है. एज यू नो, अल्टीमेट इज स्पोर्ट जिसमें आपको एंजॉय भी काफ़ी करना होता है, ऑन फील्ड भी और ऑफ फील्ड भी. तो बीच बीच में हम लोग थोड़े नुस्खे छोड़ते रहेंगे हिंदी के. बट द स्कोर इज अप 1-0. इट वॉज अ वेरी लॉन्ग पॉइंट. काफ़ी सारे टर्नओवर्स देखने मिले, एंड at this point of time, to me, it seems that Bombay Bantais is having a little too much of a dependency on a couple of players, because what we could see as well when the turnovers were happening, Mac was essentially looking for cutters as well to cut inside, and when those cuts were happening, because of the conditions, it was a little difficult to hold onto the disc as well. So as a lot of people who are watching this as well will know that it's very difficult to play in these sort of conditions where it's raining, because the disc slips out. Now Cutting Chai is on defense. They are one up. Ganesh is about to pull. Let's see what happens and what is the play which is going to happen. From the offensive side, Raka now has the disc, and he's just thrown it to Maqsood, who's Mac. Sid Silent is playing on the extreme left. It looks like they have a three-handler setup. There is a cut which has come inside. That's a nice dump throw. And that's a good one too. I think that's exactly what's going to happen in this whole game, I think, for Bombay Bantais. You will see Mac popping up everyone. Oh, that is a very bad turnover, I would suggest. But again, Sahu has the disc. He's running up with it. Ganna now asking for the disc, and he's kind of the stabilizing factor in your team as well, Nikhil. There is a throw which is a hammer. Is it going to connect? It looks like it.
That should be
impressive D by Karan.
Yeah.
Pandeyji, in his all enthusiasm as a team owner, saying that it should be a D. But to be very honest and all fairness, it didn't look like.
It was very clean. It was a very clean D. It was a very clean D, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think Karan has already got a couple of Ds, which means he's having a very good game. Mac again has the disc. He's looking basically for a good crossfield high release to Raka, and I think it's very interesting. What they have done is Cutting Chai. They have understood that there is a high dependency on two players, so which means that they have put two people onto the handlers. But good breakthrough there in terms of crash as well. Mac is again on the disc. There is a high. Okay, will this be connecting? Karan is. That is actually a very.
Taking advantage of his height. Very well done.
It was a very well done thing by Karan. Getting support from Turin. Everybody, I think, is looking for a handler to make that release. Nice release to Raka. Calming down. Raka very nicely calming down, getting the pace of the game back in his hands. Mac would be looking for one of the long hawks, and there he goes. Does he connect to Dexter? No. Oh, that is bad luck. I think the rain is playing into the game. The calculations will be a bit off starting now. People need to start playing a bit more cautiously, a bit more carefully. As we have seen even in the last one, there have been a lot of turnovers. Even in this point, we have seen like 3 turnovers already.
Right. Also, I think as a strategy, I think what Katincha is trying to do is really working. If you see both sides, for that matter, both on the Katincha side, Ganesh out of pressure and high count had to throw a hammer. This side, Mac had to throw a hammer. So it obviously means there is Bhavya's on the disc again. That's a beautiful D by Raka. He flew in there, not literally like Superman, but 94, which is Rakesh. Don't go by his height. He actually is a very, very safe handler. And Sid Salian is actually asking for the disc, but that doesn't happen. Mac again, as you can see, and Mac has the disc, doing a nice upline cut. Karan is trying to get away with a cut inside, but he's been blocked out. That is actually very good marking, but super breakthrough. I think this is going to be a low-scoring match, Pandeyji, because I suppose that might be 7 minutes, probably. Give or take, guessing. Oh, that is a score. Yeah. So it is 1-1, and that is what.
Great grab, great high grab. So it has been, and you're right, I think this is going to be maybe a low scoring game because both teams, this is second match for both of the teams. That is first, so we see them a bit down on energy. No matter how much ORS and energizers you drink, how much you hydrate yourself, your stamina does play into account, especially we're having the tournament after what, like 1.5 years? Almost 1.5 years since we had the last tournament. So there are a lot of people are getting green behind the ears again, I would say. Secondly, also with the rain coming to play, we would see a lot more slipped desk, like a lot more turnovers. You're right. Thanks for that. And also the field has become a bit slippery now. I can see that. I'm just expecting. I'm just hoping that nobody gets really injured. It's the first day of the Mumbai Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, at least the rain has now stopped, so it looks like probably there is going to be cloud cover. But yeah, I do agree with Nikhil that let's hope that nobody gets injured because it looks like a very interesting game. Everybody has come back after almost 1.5 years, and we are trying to naturally play. And if you're playing after such a long time, there is bound to be a little bit of rustiness. But just coming back to the point as well, जो पांडे जी ने बताया था that yes, definitely that is the whole objective of the MUL as well, Nikhil, is that while you have these experienced players like Ganesh, like Mac in these teams, of course you've got a lot of the other teams as well where you have a lot of experienced players. The point is that this league really gives the opportunity to a lot of these youngsters, young talents to really show, and you're actually seeing that. As mentioned, as you can understand that, as you can already see, Karan is the one who is really the stability point in terms of the cuts for Bombay Bantais. But yes, visibly as the points are going on, I feel that he might get a little tired, Nikhil. But we just have to hope that things. Ashu's making a run for it, and will Vikram throw it? No. Vikram has just turned to Parshuram. Parshuram, who actually is one of the main handlers of down to earth DT, a very nice, jovial, and that's really connect. Mackie, obviously, in his quintessential poaching style, let Ashu run. So Ashu is also a new recruit from Storm in our team, and he obviously has also been working very hard. High release, crossfield. Sid Tataria has got it. That actually is a very good grab. काफी सारे throws, as you can see, they're all going crossfields because there are no cuts which are coming. As you can see, that's a turnover. That's a very good turnover. Parshuram actually put a lot of pressure on to Sid Tataria. Now Vikram has the disc, number 14, and Sahil Bijliwala is calling for it because he's literally alone. By the way, Sahil Bijliwala also will be flying if you see in this game because he's wearing my cleats.
Oh, nice.
So cool as ice, good. Iceman's cleats, but he's obviously stuck over there for some reason. He needs to clear out in the first forehand. Parshuram has the disc. Vikram also a very stable handler from Rascals. a good pick for your team, Cutting Chai.
Yeah.
Bhavya's just passed it on to Sahu. Sahu is the captain of Cutting Chai.
Sahil is the captain.
Sahil was
Sahu had helped me choose the team because of when I was absent. Sahu helped me pick out the team. He picked out a very nice balanced team. There has been another turnover now on the field. This is still the third point, guys, and it feels like both the teams are waiting for some energy boost. The sideline support needs to be better for both the teams, I would say. Definitely we could expect more of those, right?
Yes, I do agree. I think right. As they say in most sports as well, especially in Ultimate, it is very important that the sideline actually acts as the 8th player on the field, because that one up call can make a huge difference. That was actually a very nice throw by Sid Salian. Sid Salian, who is also a very good player and a good pick. And Vikram can take a shot to Bhavya, but he has chosen not to. He's absolutely open, and Bhavya is actually calling for the disc. And I'm surprised why is nobody really connecting with her. But there is a throw to Sahil, and that's a D. Looks like those cleats are not working on this point. It is 1-1 to both the teams, जो Bombay Bantais है and Cutting Chai, and this is only the third point. You can already see the teams are getting slightly tired, but it is also very interesting. I think this is the time when you will also get to see if people are poached, people are keeping calm or not, and whether they are able to connect. And Dexter has the disc now. Tuhin is trying to make an applying cut. Sid Tataria, a breakthrough there. They should not really be giving any break. Max on the disc. Sid Tataria is open. Will he connect? No, he won't. He's again given a breakthrough. There are just too many breakthroughs which are happening. And look at the continue. Oh, that's a beautiful D.
By Vikram.
Yeah, Vikram anticipated that, and now again there is going to be end to end. It is one-on-one end to end which is happening. Is he going to catch it? He has caught it. Ashu has caught it just outside the end zone, and there is a call. But it was a little bit of a risky throw. What do you think? Although Ashu made up good ground, but throw was slightly risky. Panditji?
No, so we did discuss it before the match that we can also try for low releases and low catches, because a lot of players are not comfortable with that. Across the Ultimate format, we usually go for sky highs and usually like to sky over the people. So that is one strategy we have been trying. It was a bit of a risky throw, but I think one more thing was there, that usually what happens is we are seeing that after 12 count 3 or 4, a lot of things are just converting into hammers and hucks because people are getting under pressure. So I think Vikas just wanted to get out of that pressure, and that's a great score. That's a very smooth throw, a great score in spite of multiple turnovers in this point.
Break point.
It's a break point. And there's 2-1 up. We're 2-1 up.
So that is the point 3 which has actually gotten over, and this was a break which was converted by Cutting Chai. But as you could see that with just 3 points in, with the number of turnovers that we are seeing, it looks like it's taking a toll on both the teams. You can visibly see Bombay Bantai players also walking back. They are slightly tired. But in terms of strategy, I think Cutting Chai seems to be more well strategized for this point at this juncture. They seem to be making a lot of easy breakthroughs, doing a lot of cross-field breakthroughs. It's just that in the final third, there seems to be a little bit of a continuation and a connection that just needs to work a little bit better. Score is 2-1. Bombay Bantais definitely need to get their strategy a little bit sorted, but it looks like a good game. The sun's starting to come out as well, and जैसा मैंने बोला था कि हम बीच बीच में थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात करेंगे, तो I hope आप लोगों को हिंदी भी समझ में आती है. On the far field, if you guys can actually see at this point, while the lineups are being called, the match is going on between Afterburners and Grumpies. Grumpies did win their first match, which was against Bomb Squad, and unfortunately I don't know the score line for that, but I have confirmation that they did win that. That match is also a very interesting match because both sides are pretty well packed, and as you can see, Gaju just caught that on the other side. If you guys can see that, I'm not really sure, but nonetheless, coming back to our game, the lines are up. It is going to be cutting chai on defense. Offensive line, if you can see, there is Raka, there is Dexter, who's the captain of Bombay Bantais, there is Matt, Tuhin, Sid Tataria, there is Karan. So Rakesh has just given it to Dexter. Dexter has just dumped it to Mac. And now Mac actually looking for someone. He has connected as a hammer with a high release to Dexter. That is a beautiful D. That is superb. I mean, that actually sums up what's been happening in the match so far. A lot of turnovers from both the teams. Again, this was the offensive point which was for Bombay Bantais, and Cutting Chai has managed to get the turnover. Now it is Zala who has the disc, and again that's a turnover. That was not really a very nice throw. Unfortunately, you can't even blame it to the rain. Now there is a deep cut which is happening. Will Matt try and throw to her? No, they won't. Matthew actually covered up quite well over there. Raka again has got the disc. He's going to look for the upline cut to Mac, and Mac is connected to Karan, and Karan is looking for a player. That's a very nice throw to Tuhin. Tuhin now just needs to relax a little bit and just has to make sure that they again that's superb. All right, I feel although that connected pretty well, to be very honest. This one did connect to Karan, and I think so far the dependency from Bombay Bantais perspective is a lot, as you can see on a few players. You can see Mac, Raka, Karan and Dexter. Primarily these 3-4 players are the ones who are the only players who are playing. Mac is playing savage obviously and looking for those dumps and trying to connect on those shots. From Cutting Chai's perspective, I think they are having a very good game. Although the score is 2-all now, but they definitely as a team seems to be working pretty well, and as the game goes on, I have a very strong feeling that Bombay Bantais might see a lot of tired legs, even in terms of the squad. From what I'm seeing, it seems the whole squad is on the field right now and it seems to be a little thin. So Nikhil Pandey, the owner, had left and he is now going to be on the way back. So this is of course the inaugural edition of the Mumbai Ultimate League, which is brought to you by Off Season Ultimate, and it is sponsored by Reflex. Now the pull has happened, the score is 2-all. Vikram has caught it, Vikram has quickly dumped it to Sahu, and they are actually making very good progress. 1-2, 1-2, literally between them. So you can see the chemistry between the two of them, because both Vikram and Sahu play for Rascals. They literally within 5 seconds covered almost 30-40 yards. Now Bhavya has made a beautiful in-cut. Parshuram had handed the disc. Bhavya is again looking for a dump to Parshuram. Vikram is going to get the breakthrough. Parshuram opting, no, he won't be opting for it. Sahu, that was actually thrown a little bit behind, and Karan put a lot of pressure on Sahu. That's a turnover which probably should not have happened, but it was, Cutting Chai was looking strong. They made some great yardage, they covered some good yards, but there was a turnover and Mac is on the disc. Ganesh marking Mac. Now again the dump is being there, Mac's on the disc again. To him, that is a deep throw, and that is definitely has to be D'd. Ashu is again having a good game. He's playing the D line primarily for for cutting chai, and Mac tried to connect to Karan. As I was saying a little while back, the 3 or 4 players of Bombay Bantais, there seems to be a lot of dependency, because Mac at this point of time seems to be only looking to Karan to connect. And will Ganna throw that? No, he will not. Bhavya again making a beautiful in-cut. I think she's having a very good game. Nikhil Pandey is back.
Yeah, that is correct, Iceman. As you can see, if you see our lineup, you see we have like 3 or 4 handlers on the lineup. So what we have done is we have taken two of the most experienced ones, like Ganesh and Bhavya, to act as cutters for us, and that is just helping us move the game faster up till at least, like as you said, the 30-40 yardage line that we are getting. Oh, that's a great D by Ganesh. Great D. Mac was getting under pressure. He just wanted to like huck it. It was a great D by Ganesh and Sahu both, putting out nicely pressure. I think that should be caught, and oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's good. We are 3-2 up. Cutting chai is 3-2 up. Hey, who is this Reflex? I would like to talk about our sponsors a bit. Do you know anything about them? Wow. Nice.
So they're a solar energy based company. That's pretty much what I know about them. I can talk a little bit more about the company as well, but I think it's better if the organizing committee talks about that.
Oh, all right.
I would like to steer away from it, rather than say something which probably is not authentic or accurate, as we've been seeing with some of the things which have been happening. There have been some inaccurate information which has been let out. That is what I've been hearing from a number of people, but of course we are not really going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the game currently, and Cutting Chai has got that break right now. The 3-2 up, a nice high release throw to Ganesh, and as Nikhil did point out, the strategy is very interesting. If you can see, they are kind of playing a horizontal stack, and in that horizontal stack, Vikram, Sahu and Parshuram are the ones who are as the primary 3 handlers, and Ganesh and Bhavya are the ones who are popping to try and give the continuation to whoever is going to run deep. So it seems to be working well for them. I think Bombay Bantais now, Karan is going to take a sub. Sid Tataria is in, because I think Karan has played pretty much all the points so far. And as I said, the dependency is too much. Bombay Bantais needs to get their things sorted, because right now, if you remember the previous point as well, the turnover was primarily because Mac tried to again do a hammer, which was blocked out by Ganesh, probably because it was a high stall count. Ganesh is about to pull, and that pull happens. That's a nice pull. It is nearly going to go. Raka is on the disc, stops it. Raka is going to look for that cut, but he's just given it to Sid Tataria. Sid Tataria should get this easily, and he's inside. Yes, oh, there's a call. There's a call, and there are people who are giving perspectives as well, and it is called in. So now they're looking for is that upline cut? There is upline cut. That's a safe disc. Mac is calling for it. Mac has got it. That is again a turnover. It looks like there are just too many turnovers at this point. Superb. What a connection, and what a superb throw. That is so smooth. Actually just had to catch it and probably do a little bit of the cutting chai dance. Is there a cutting chai dance, Pandeyji?
No, we don't have a cutting chai dance yet. We are just trying to focus on, since the team has been very distributed till now, we have a few players from outside the city. So this is the first time team is playing together as one, and we are still figuring out the basics of who to call, what to call, at what time can we depend on somebody. And post that we'll of course have parties. I of course, as owner, I think we also need to figure out how to get the team more involved and more on a fun factor. I think that's what we can contribute to the team.
Absolutely, yes. I do think that's very important, because for us as well as icebreakers, we've actually had the last 2 Sundays of Ultimate as well. Naturally, you obviously need to have a good off-field synergy and chemistry as well.
That is correct. And I think I could see that on the field today, Bhavya. Like, I could see the icebreakers like really gelling well. They knew where each of their player was at all given points of time. There were of course few turnovers, but that is the point of any game. But overall, I think icebreakers outperformed every other team in one aspect today, and that I would say would be like the team bonding, and that is what reflected on the field. So that was nice. That was great on your team and your captain's part. Who's your captain, by the way?
So Tahir and myself, of course, are the captain. The spirit captain is Joe.
All right, all right. So you are the owner, the captain, and the star player of Icebreakers. That's a nice thing.
No. There are a lot of good players, amazing players. In fact, I think, which is why I think that the performance was well on the field as well. So that was very nice. But coming to this point, it is now the score is 4-2, which is to Cutting Chai.
And half time.
It's already half time. Wow. Okay. So at half time it's 4-2, which is a lead to Cutting Chai. Bombay Bantais as a team at half time doesn't seem to be enthusiastic to do something, whereas Cutting Chai had like a loud cheer to do this. I think you can see a little bit shoulders drooping. Karan seems to be in a little bit of a negative mood. So does Mac. They both seem to be having cross hands, which is a sign probably that things are not working or panning out as they expected. But it's overall an interesting game. And as a lot of people would say, the ultimate is the winner.
Okay, that's an old adage line from most of the commentators we have heard growing up. So yeah, ultimate is a winner in this game. We are seeing people from at least 3-4 cities come down to play at Mumbai Ultimate, and as Mumbai Ultimate matures and the Mumbai Ultimate League matures, we hope to see like more cities participating, and this hopefully coming up and being almost like any national or regional level tournament in the future, because this is off-season Ultimate. Most of the players are free, so it should get them going. It should keep them in practice for the nationals and the regionals. It would be a great addition to any team's advantage in the coming years to have their players play in Mumbai Ultimately. They would get to play with the national players at the same time, get to learn from them. It's a great concept. Oh, that is a beautiful deal. Matthew almost still had it, but I think that last moment D1 put him sort of ported him a bit. He lost his concentration, but still. You can see there's a bit of like the pace of the game has really slowed down. You can see the energy level groupings in both teams. People like very quietly walking up to the disc. Nobody rushing here or there. No great sudden movements. As Dhoni is picking up the disc, you don't see anybody running. You don't see any smart cuts. So now Dhoni bringing up the disc.
So the reason they are not cutting is because they are going to bring it outside the end zone. Now they should be a cut. -1 is what we say. That's a breakthrough.
Oh,
wow, that was a good breakthrough by Dhwani, but Sid could not really hold on to it. It was a good. So that deal was actually done by number 22, who was Tuhin Sharma, who's also the owner of the Bombay Bantais. And that's a good upfield throw. Gunnar just doing it as easy and cool as an experienced player should be, just stepping out, pivoting and releasing a nice forehand to connect on the upline for a 5-2 score. So Cutting Chai has now taken the lead for 5-2. We'll just reconfirm the score again, but from our estimation it should be 5-2.
Yes, the score was 5-2, Bhavya, that's correct. We could see we could see Mac getting a bit frustrated, calling out to his team.
So as I said that yes, now there is a confirmation. From what it seems to me is that Cutting Chai has really formed out and realized that Mac is the pivotal aspect of this game for the Bombay Bantais, and if they really cut and put, and if you can see that, you can see Ganesh, you can see that they are really hard marking him so that he has to do a lot of high releases. But a quick guest has actually just popped by, which is Sagar Sharma. So he is the captain of the bomb squad, and I thought that thoda उनसे भी बात करेंगे. So it will be nice. So 5-2 का स्कोर चल रहा है. सागर, what do you think? अभी तक मतलब जितना मैच आपने देखा है, क्या आपको लग रहा है बॉम्बे बंटाइज और आफ्टर और कटिंग चाय के बीच में स्ट्रैटेजी के हिसाब से? मतलब मैक इज इन द गेम बट थोड़े उसको बहुत हैमर्स पे हैमर्स करने पड़ रहे हैं. क्या है आपके थॉट्स? थोड़ा कुछ स्ट्रैटेजी के बारे में क्या करना चाहिए बॉम्बे बंटाइज को?
बॉम्बे बंटाइज को और जो वो लोग हैंडलिंग पे वर्क करना चाहिए उनको, कि मैक अकेला हैंडलिंग कर रहा है तो उसके साथ कोई अगर हैंडलर्स होगा तो उसको बहुत हेल्पफुल होगा मेरे हिसाब से. और मैक को मेरे हिसाब से हैमर ले रहा है, उससे अच्छा अराउंड थ्रो लेगा वो अच्छा रहेगा. क्या हैमर्स में उनको पता चल जाएगा कि हैमर से हैमर्स डाल रहा है तो वो एक बार डालेगा, दूसरी बार डालेगा, तीसरी बार वो ब्लॉक ही होने वाला है. तो अभी देखो ये चीज़ आप देख रहे हो कितना उनको कितना पेशेंट, 4 जन पीछे खेल रहे हैं, 4 जन. तो वो चीज़ इंप्रूव करने की ज़रूरत है मेरे हिसाब से.
नाइस.
दूसरा ये दूसरी टीम का नाम कटिंग चाय अच्छा खेल रहा है. कटिंग चाय के लिए आई थिंक वो लोग बहुत जल्दी कर दे रहे हैं, बहुत जल्दी, कि उनको गिवन गोस करना चाहिए. गिवन गोस जैसे कि फ्रिस्बी देके वापस लेने जाना है, ये चीज़ करना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. और गणेश बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है, बहुत अच्छा टीम को लीड कर रहा है आई थिंक.
Right. As you heard it, Sagar obviously is dissecting the strategy from both the teams, and as we've been mentioning prior to this as well, ke Bombay Bantais is obviously dependent quite a bit on a few players, and you can see that on the field. They are getting a little tired. बैलेंस के हिसाब से यस आई डू अग्री, कटिंग चाहे थोड़ा सा और है, बट मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ऑल्सो उन लोग मैक पे और इफ सिट टटार या राकेश पे जो डबल टीम भी डाल रहे हैं, ट्राइंग टू प्रेशर देम इनटू थ्रोइंग अ हैमर एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग दैट वी कैन सी. बट जो भी कटिंग चाय अभी तक कर रही है इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजी, एज यू कैन सी ही इज डन अ मार्क. Ganesh is now having a very strong game. He's actually putting a lot of, and that actually could have been almost a carry hand. Raka को फेंका है उन्होंने साइड लाइन पे, and Raka has just put it back to Mac. Mac is now looking for a cut, but there are no cuts which are actually coming in. If you can see, बेसिकली मुझे लग रहा है कि बॉम्बे बंटाइज का सबसे बड़ा इशू और चैलेंज अभी यही है कि द रीज़न वाई दे हैव टू टेक दो शॉट सागर इज़ बिकॉज उनको अपलाइन इन कट्स नहीं मिल रहे हैं, एंड बिकॉज द स्टॉल काउंट इज गोइंग हाई दे ऑब्वियसली हैव टू ईदर स्विंग, बट स्विंग करने भी नहीं मिल रहा है, सो दे हैव टू देन टेक दोज हैमर्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स.
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि आरुषि वो लोग में आरुषि नंदवानी भी उसको हैंडलिंग करना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. वो इतना दूर जाए, उसको वो टीम की मेन प्लेयर है तो उसको टीम को हेल्प करना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से, कि उसको इन कट्स मारना चाहिए. अभी देखो वो पीछे इतना खड़े रह रहे हैं, हाँ बस ये भी चलेगा, पर इसमें अंदर आना चाहिए उसको मेरे हिसाब से. मैक को करना चाहिए. मैक ही सब कुछ कर रहा है, गिवन को कर रहा है, वो था 1-2 पॉइंट खेलेगा, फिर वो भी उनका भी एनर्जी वो हो जाएगा, तो उनको कोई सपोर्ट करेगा तो उनको भी रिलैक्स होगा और हेल्पफुल होगा टीम के लिए, बॉम्बे बंटाइज के लिए.
राइट. So Raka, Mac, as Sagar said, that it is a little surprising as well, because Mac usually is a person when he gets a little bit of a look downfield and line, and you can. I was just going to say that there might be a travel call onto that, honestly, but to be very honest. As you can see that Arushi now seems to have actually heard what Sagar was saying, and she has come on to play. But what I wanted to also point out was that it is very surprising, because Mac is a person who always, when he gets that upline look and a deep shot, he usually takes that. But for some reason, he doesn't seem to be doing that today. He seems to be going, and he has thrown to Arushi. Beautiful. They finally connected. Wow. That was a nice smooth play. Mac looking for that upside cut, and जैसे सागर ने कॉल भी किया था कि आरुषि को गेम में थोड़ा सा और आना चाहिए and help Mac out, और she's exactly done that. सागर.
उनको करना चाहिए कि इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए, थ्रोस हैंडलिंग करना चाहिए आरुषि के थ्रोस भी है, तो हम उसके अंदर ये लोग की स्ट्रेटजी भी चेंज कर सकते हैं कि आरुषि हैंडल करे, मैक डीप भागे, मैक हैंडल करे, आरुषि डीप भागे. मेरे हिसाब से ये
They're putting a lot of pressure, but as the teams are taking a little bit of break, because obviously the Suns come out again, just a small piece of information, the inaugural edition of Mumbai Ultimate League is brought to you obviously and organized by Off Season Ultimate, and it is sponsored by Reflex. But on a side note, सागर शर्मा जो है वो obviously ये साल रास्कल्स को भी कोच कर रहे हैं, मुंबई की जो टीम है. and he's also the captain of the bomb squad. So I had a couple of questions जो जब तक टीम ब्रेक्स पे पूछने के लिए. सागर, आप अभी बाहर से आए हो ये खेलने के लिए, तो अभी तक आपका फर्स्ट डे, फर्स्ट मैचेस और एक्सपीरियंस अभी तक आपका कैसा रहा है?
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. टूर्नामेंट बहुत अच्छे से ऑर्गेनाइज की है. ब्रॉडकास्ट पहली बार इंडिया में ब्रॉडकास्ट हुआ है, वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. और हमारी टीम के बारे में बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हमारी टीम के जो प्लेयर्स है वो भी एफर्ट करे, तो वो चीज़ मुझे अच्छा लगा कि वो लोग हेल्पफुल है हमारे लिए. और मेरा ये गोल है 6 वीक के लिए जो हम टूर्नामेंट खेलने वाले हैं कि मुझे मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो मुझे अपनी टीम के साथ शेयर करना है कि मेरे पास से सब सीखे कुछ ना कुछ चीज़. कोई 10% 20% जिसको जो क्वेश्चन हो वो कर सके. तो मेरा ये फोकस है कि सबको मेरी टीम में सिखाना है कि वो लोग नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर खेलेंगे, ये इसके बाद नेक्स्ट एनुअल आएगा तो उसमें वो उनको वो चीज़ काम लगेगी, वो उनके टीम के जाके भी सिखा सकते हैं. तो मेरा ये फोकस है मेरी टीम के लिए.
Nice. That's very interesting, and that is exactly what you've been seeing. जैसे आप देखोगे, and I mentioned a little bit earlier as well, that MUL in terms of the formation of all the teams as well, there is a nice balance of a lot of experienced players as well as young talents, and those young talents are also performing, as you can see in terms of Cutting Chai as well. You saw Ashu getting a couple of Ds. He's a new recruit for Storm. On the Bombay Bantais side, Karan has been pretty much hand-holding with those deep shots to Mac. He got a few Ds as well. He connected for a couple of scores as well. So you can see that there is nice young good talent that is really coming up out of this league. We also have Tahir with us, who's one of the pivotal parts of the Mumbai Ultimate League, and he's also the commissioner. He will only be saying and summarizing 2 words because he seems to be shaking his head no. So 2 वर्ड बोलेंगे और 2 वर्ड बोल के वो आगे चलेंगे.
The tournament,
2 words are over, but फिर भी
good job भाई, good job. अभी हाफ चल रहा है दोनों टीम्स का. आई थिंक दोनों टीम्स अपना स्ट्रैटेजी बना रहा है. बम्बई बंटाइज थोड़ा लो चल रहा है, बट ये पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे बम्बई बंटाइज कैन गेट बैक अप.
तो मैं एक चीज़ बोलना चाहता हूँ दोनों टीम के लिए. इसलिए एमएल में फील्ड लंबा बहुत है और ऐसे विथ बहुत कम है. तो उसके अंदर टीम को क्या करना चाहिए, हक्स कम लेने चाहिए और इनकट ज़्यादा मारना चाहिए. और दूसरा डिफेंस में एक स्ट्रेटेजी मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कि उनको फोर्स मिडल खेलना चाहिए. ओके, अगर आप लाइन फोर्स करोगे तो उनको बहुत जगह मिलेगी डालने के लिए. अगर फोर्स मिडल करोगे तो वो अच्छा रहेगा कोई भी टीम के लिए, क्योंकि अच्छा रहेगा मेरे हिसाब से. और बम्बई बंटास में धोनी जैन करके सूरत की प्लेयर है, वो भी अच्छा कर लेती है, वो हैंडलिंग कर लेती है, गटिंग कर लेती है. उसकी स्पीड का अगर हम बम्बई बंटास यूज़ करेगी है तो बहुत अच्छा खेलेंगे वो लोग. नेक्स्ट हाफ में वो लोग अंदर आ सकते हैं गेम के अंदर.
Right. So जैसा आप देख सकते हैं, the score right now is 5-3, and that is obviously to Cutting Chai, who is since the half is up now, they're going to start on defense, and there's some interesting tips that Sagar has just shared, which is exactly what we also noticed when we were playing our icebreakers. I was just not sharing those strategies so that other teams देख के अगले संडे के लिए वो फॉर्म ना करे, but of course Sagar is being extremely helpful, and Sagar बता रहे हैं, which is true because हम भी as a team started as horizontal stacks when we were playing. Yes, and we started with a horizontal stack, and we quickly realized after 3 or 4 points that it is going to be too crowded, and that's why we quickly moved as a isolation cutter to a side stack, और जो हमारे लिए काफ़ी अच्छा चला. Although सागर जैसा बोल रहे हैं, anyways we'll come back to this. It's a very interesting point जो सागर ने रेस किया है, but the score is 5-3. परशुराम पुल करने वाले हैं, डिफेंस पे चल रहा है कटिंग चाय, एंड बॉम्बे बंटा इज गोइंग टू बी ऑन ऑफेंस. ऑफेंसिव लाइनअप जो चल रहा है बॉम्बे बंटा इसका भी, दैट इज सिड सैलियन, देन यू हैव मकसूद चौधरी, you have Tuin, you have Dexter who's the captain of Bombay Bantais, you have Dhwani, you have Karan, and you have Raka. So on the line which is for Cutting Chai, you can see Ganna sprinting up. Those legs even today can make it. Sahil is of course also one of the players. Bhavya, who had a very good game against us when we played against Icebreakers, she's also playing. Tuin has just caught that, given a nice mid cut जैसे सागर ने बताया था बीच का फील्ड यूज करने के लिए. Tuin is now looking for someone, a dump to Mac. And Mac now actually is looking for somebody, and that cut is not going to happen. A lot of pressure, dump cut, up line, That is a nice connection to Raka. Mac looking for it again. I think he's going to go for Karan. He is going to go for Karan. Definitely. Oh no, he's going for sit silent. Will they connect? Yes, they will connect. And that is actually a good connection finally.
ओके, तो अच्छा कनेक्ट था मेरे हिसाब से। एक और चीज़, ये फील्ड में 3 हैंडलर्स रखेंगे तो अच्छा है। 3 हैंडलर्स जैसे कि एक साइड लाइन पे सेंटर एंड साइड लाइन, तो एक साइड से दूसरी साइड स्विंग करना अच्छा रहेगा, इसके अंदर रीसेट करना अच्छा रहेगा। अभी मैक भाई ने जो थ्रो लिया वो अच्छा था, पर वो स्विंग एक साइड से दूसरी साइड स्विंग भी करना है फ्रिस्बी को। ओके, नहीं तो फिर दूसरी टीम को पता चल जाएगा कि वो लोग एक ही साइड ही स्विंग करे, तो वो लोग फोर्स एक साइड करके खेलेंगे तो उनको बहुत मुश्किल होगा। तो वो लोग स्विंग करके खेलेंगे तो मेरे हिसाब से अच्छा होगा। ओके, बम्बई बंटाइस पॉइंट लिया, अच्छा है। स्कोर इज 5-4 एंड नेक्स्ट ऑनलाइन बम्बई बंटास मैक भाई लग रहा है बहुत थक गए, पर उनका गेम बहुत अच्छा है। नेक्स्ट साई कटिंग में भी उनकी स्ट्रेटेजी की है, स्ट्रेटेजीज के साथ खेले तो अच्छा है। ऑनलाइन कृतिका, साहू, सचिन एंड ओके कटिंग चाहे 5 एंड बम्बई बंटेज 4। ओके, अभी थोड़ा टाइम लिया है, बम्बई बंटेज ने स्ट्रेटेजी बना रहे, वो चीज़ अच्छा है। वो लोग कुछ चेंज करे तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि अभी पहले से वो लोग मैन टू मैन कर रहे हैं, तो अभी शायद जोन कर सकते हैं या 1 मैन पोच ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं वो लोग। अच्छा रहेगा वो मेरे हिसाब से ये चीज़। ओके, देखते हैं बम्बई बंटेज क्या करने वाले, उनको सरप्राइज करे तो अच्छा है। ओके, तो मेरे हिसाब से बम्बई बंटाइस कुछ स्ट्रेटेजी चेंज करे तो अच्छा है सब टीम के लिए। अब स्ट्रेटेजी चेंज करते रहो, एमयूएल में सब टीम के लिए हम स्ट्रेटेजी चेंज करते रहो। जैसे कि हमने आज बहुत स्ट्रेटेजी ट्राई की, बॉम्ब स्क्वाड ने साइड स्टैक, वर्टिकल स्टैक, 4-6 सेट करके खेल रहे थे, वो चीज़ अच्छा है। ओके, बैक टू ऑन गेम।
So, sorry guys, I had taken a momentary break. Sagar obviously continuing to share interesting tips and strategies. Upline cut by Vikram. Vikram is actually being poached at this point. Yeah, no, he's now has the mark. Vikram looking to Sahu. Sahu has sent. The score now seems, I think it is 5-4. Bombay Bantais has just got 2 points back to back, and it looks like there's not much time which is going. Oh, that's a turnover. That is really एकदम अच्छी तरह, एकदम easy गिव अवे था। परशुराम ने डाला था वो, लेकिन कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाया अनफॉर्चुनेटली। और जैसा हमने पहले ही बोला था कि ये गेम शायद एक लो स्कोरिंग गेम होगा, बिकॉज एज वी कुड सी फ्रॉम द नंबर ऑफ टर्नओवर्स। और ये बहुत ही अच्छा 1-2 कनेक्शन डंप जो सागर पहले भी बात कर रहे थे कि आरुश्री जो है डेक्स्टर, वो और मैक को कनेक्ट करना चाहिए था। शी इज अगेन लुकिंग, दैट्स अ गुड ब्रेक थ्रो, बट suddenly the wind has picked up and which has taken the disc a little bit outside. Sahu is literally empty. Will they connect? Parshuram has got the disc. He should have gone for that 1-2. Vikram is also empty. He's also asking for the disc. There's a scuba and Ashu has scored. The score is now 6-4 to the Cutting Chai, and Cutting Chai, as the game is progressing, Sagar is looking more stronger than एनर्जी, उनका केमिस्ट्री, जैसे प्लेयर्स लोग का बॉडी लैंग्वेज है, वो ज़्यादा ऐसा लग रहा है कि दे ऑल आर कमिंग टुगेदर वेल। लग रही है इन कंपैरिजन विद बॉम्बे बंटाइस। बॉम्बे बंटाइस थोड़े टायर्ड भी लग रहे हैं, आपका क्या कहना है?
ओके, तो थक गए, पहली चीज़ तो बम्बई बंटाइस थक गई है, और इनकी अभी एनर्जी बहुत अप है, क्योंकि ये लोग अप है और ये लोग उनको और डाउन करने वाले स्कोर लेके वो लोग सोच रहे हैं। बम्बई बंटाइस सोच रहे हैं कि हम डाउन है, वो चीज़ सोच के आपको आपके स्कोर नहीं आएंगे, आपको दूसरा करना है, आपको डी लेना है और स्कोर लेना है। ओके, अभी आपको ऑफेंस है बम्बई बंटाइस का, तो उनको स्कोर लेना है, वो चीज़ ध्यान रखना है। फिर उसके बाद पॉइंट हो जाए सेम तो वापस डी करना है। तो अभी हवा चल रही है, तब जोन भी कर सकते हो, दोनों टीम के लिए जोन बहुत हेल्पफुल होगा आपको। 1 मैन पोच, जैसे कि आज हमारे सामने आइस ब्रेकर ने बहुत अच्छा 1 मैन पोच किया, वो मैं ब्लॉक नहीं खोल नहीं सका, उसके सामने क्या करना था वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया। तो अच्छा था आज गेम आइस ब्रेकर्स और हमारा उनके साथ ग्रम्पिस के साथ। ओके, तो
सो as Sagar said कि actually wind थोड़ा pick up हो गया है and Pandey ji is also back. जैसा कि बताया हमने कि स्कोर अभी हो गया है 6-4 नहीं 6-4 तो पहले ही था but we can just reconfirm. We'll come back to you and reconfirm those scores. As mentioned earlier, we unfortunately don't have a live screen where we can see what is happening, but you guys are already aware of the score. But coming back to the point जो सागर बोल के गए हैं, there definitely was a little bit of wind which had picked up and which when Mac did the breakthrough looking for Raka, that went out. Which was good advantage was taken about that by icebreakers to make that break score. By Bombay Bantais, by Cutting Chai. Yeah. I'm extremely sorry. By Cutting Chai to make that conversion on the D, and now we obviously have Mac again for a dump with Raka. We have some spectators who have come into the eye line of the commentators, and there is going to be a momentary gap. Okay, we are back now. So Raka is looking for Mac, looking for that hammer, but he has not been able to connect, and that is a nice breakthrough to Dhwani. Mac seems to be coming a little bit and becoming a little energetic because he knows probably it's just like remaining 5-7 minutes which are left to him, making a long in cut. Connecting with Dhwani for that. Now there's a dump which is again to Mac, and Mac, will he connect with Raka? No, he won't. So how's the game going so far for you guys, Nikhil?
So I think we were taking it a bit lightly, is what I would say. The energy levels were down, and often matters the energy level of the competition sort of affects your energy level because it's a very spirited game, so we draw from each other, and I believe both the teams are feeling a bit down low just around half time. But now they are bugged up. We can see that there are 15 to 20 minutes left in the game, so people are going to put in their all. It's the last day of the last match of the day, and so it's really looking forward to seeing this smooth flow. We are doing the same strategies in the first point, walking the disc up nicely, and then just trying to score it in the end zone. I think we need to have a better end zone strategy. That is why we are losing a lot of this. As you can see, again a turnover extremely at the end zone itself. It's up to Mumbai Bantais now to sort of just get the energy of the game going. We are putting in our contribution, not trying to pull anybody's leg, but yeah. Also, we are seeing a lot of changes in the weather condition throughout the match itself. It was sunny, then it was raining and slippery, then it was windy. Now it is sunny and windy. So that is throwing off calculations for everybody off, especially playing 1.5 years with a 1.5 years gap. So.
Yeah, that's true. The condition actually have been changing quite a bit. For example, ये जो throw था, that throw, the wind suddenly picked up pretty much in the middle, and now also I probably as viewers you cannot understand or cannot see naturally, but it has become suddenly quite windy, which is putting a little bit of added pressure, which means that a lot of the handlers, a lot of the throwers need to put that extra spin onto the disc to control it further. Yeah. Sid has just gone for it and has already gone out of bounds. I can see that it's gone on the other side. He tried to obviously connect with Karan. It was a nice look. Karan did have for a second that downfield cut, but Sid, unfortunately, as we were just saying, that because it's windy, probably that also is a factor, because we're sitting under the umbrella right now and the umbrella is also shaking a little bit. I wish we could show you that. But coming from a strategy perspective, it is another turnover. Ganesh is on the disc. Upline cut by Sahil. That's a beautiful upline cut, and Ghanna has just put it a little behind, but Karan also looks visibly tired. He obviously left his mark on Sahil. He's going for the deep cut. Will he connect? Mac has definitely taken that, which is the cut that he actually is known for.
Oh, that is a great D by Sahil. That is a great smart.
It's just turnover after turnover, and Mac has just looked for Sid Tataria. Sid Tataria and Mac is again just looking for those 1-2 as we call them, which is give and go, is what Sagar was talking about. That's a nice grab by Money. Now it's just about patience. Money needs to be patient. They have done the hard work. They've got the turnover.
Pressure!
They've got the turnover, and they are literally just a yard or two away from the end zone, and that's a high release, and that is a nice score. We'll just reconfirm the score.
I would like to bring us back to the point where we almost thought that Karan had it and Sahil did a great deal. That was a very smart deal. You can see an old school move, walking up quietly, like lurking up, and Karan almost giving like no hoots about who's around him. Karan very confident, going into the zone to catch the disc, and Sahil did a very great deal. Unfortunately, that turnover did not help Kadinchai, but still it got some energy into the team. We just hope that the team gets up in energy, and we have roughly 10 minutes left of the game. We should confirm this score because 6-5 is too close to call at the moment.
Yes, there is a confirmation now, as Nikhil Pandey ji predicted. The score is 6-5, and to be very honest, there is a really nice comeback which has happened from the Bombay Bantais. At one point of time, they were down 5-2, and then it became 6-2 and 6-3 and things like that, and you would have literally written them off. I don't think there is much time which is left at this point of time for the game to be going on, but they have literally managed to pull the score back, and now there is just a single point difference between them. Of course, they will be starting on defense, which means that with that 6-5 scoreline, they would try and apply that pressure. It seems like Mac has taken a little bit of a break and a breather because you can see him lying down because he's been playing savage on this game, and obviously you would have anticipated that in the previous match as well he might have played savage, so he's taken a little bit of a break. But yeah, coming to the score now, Raka is on the line for Bombay Bantais. Karan, Sid Tataria, who's going to make the pull. There is Arushri, there is Manini, there is Tuhin, who's obviously also the owner. Sahu has just, again, this is the strategy that we were just discussing. They've already covered about 15 odd yards. Sahu is now looking for a dump to Vikram. The Rascal teammates and synergy and chemistry again coming up. Parshuram has got the disc from Vikram. At this point of time, it really seems like easy pickings for. Whoa! That is a save. That's definitely a beautiful save by Bhavya. That disc was really not meant for us. That was a risky throw. That was a very risky throw.
Yeah, that was not at all required at this stage in the game. I think what Kadinchai wants to do is bring a bit of energy into the game. That's what Sahu is trying. With a few quick scores, that always helps. A quick score always helps bring the energy up of the team, but I don't think that is required at the moment. We were ahead by quite a bit. I think the energy needs, the seriousness needs to come in. So that is what I think the team should be looking for. Other than that, it's a pretty slow game. Mac taking a break should give Kadinchai a bit of advantage. They should definitely try for even Callahan. I would say would not be out of our bounds in this game right now. In this point, they are tired. We should take advantage of it. We should play smartly. We should really play a bit more smartly.
So currently, that is again a turnover. There is a call though by Arushi. Dexter behind. Let's see what the call is. There's a discussion which is going on, and it seems that the defensive player also is holding their ground. It looks like it's going to get contested, and the disc is going to go back to Sid Tataria. Coming to the point in terms of the turnover as well, it looks like it's an accepted foul, so the disc will stay with Arushi. And now she's obviously going to start the continuation. She is looking for some cuts. There's just too much of clogging, as you can see from the game which is happening. You can literally see that the whole team of Bombay Bantais was nearly 10 to 12 yards from the handler, which really does not make sense, and that pretty much seems to be happening right now with Kadinchai as well. They only have two upfield players, and that is a score. That's definitely a good connection. So Kadinchai has managed to get a break and taken the lead to the 7-5. But मीटर या 10-12 यार्ड के स्पेस में obviously because it's a little sunny as well, hot as well, there are tired legs which are also you have to take that into account as well. But अगर उन्हें इतना अच्छा कमबैक किया है जो 6-5 किया था उन्होंने स्कोर, तो अभी इतना करने के बाद मेरे हिसाब से फॉर दोज लास्ट 5-10 मिनट्स पांडे जी आई डोंट थिंक दे शुड गिव अप. दे शुड रियली ब्रॉडन द फील्ड अ लिटिल बिट, जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं नॉर्मली इन अल्टीमेट एज वेल, दैट इफ यू रियली वांट टू गेट the opposite team tired, you need enough space for the cuts as well to happen.
Right.
Because just looking at those dumps, you're just going to clog in those in cuts as well as the handler area.
That does put a lot of pressure on the handler because they only get like so much area to throw out. Whereas if you actually open up the space, it gives them a lot more confidence. It gives them a view of the land. It gives them a lot more space to throw out. And as you said, I would definitely agree with you that Mumbai Bantais should not give up at this moment, at this juncture of the game. There's still about 7-10 minutes left. They almost had caught up to Cutting Chai. There was 6-5. The score was 6-5 at one point. So that way, I think even as we have all heard, all three results are possible at this time of the game. So it's still anybody's game.
Right, but to me, honestly, I think Cutting Chai should come out on top with this game from what we've been seeing. Also, purely from the perspective that they seem to be having a more stable match. Where more players are getting involved. But yes, I'm a little surprised कि अभी तक बॉम्बे बंटाइज ने कटिंग चाय की स्ट्रैटेजी जो है वो अभी तक they haven't caught on to that strategy. They seem to be running the same strategy on offense by doing those 1-2s and bringing it up. But anyways, it's easier said than done. Field पे जब भी आप होते हो तभी गेम completely different होता है, एनर्जी भी होती है, टायर्ड लेग्स भी होते हैं. बिग कॉल किया है जो एंड सिड सैलियन के पास डिस्क है एंड आरुषि इज गोइंग टू बी द वन हु इज गोइंग टू बी ऑन द स्विंग. ही इज प्लेइंग एक्सेस. पीछे मैक है, कोई कट्स नहीं आ रहे. ही इज एक्चुअली लुकिंग फॉर द कट एंड नाउ ही हैज टू लुक फॉर द डंप. Literally, as you can see, that Mac is just connected to Raka. There is a applying field which has happened. What we are seeing now, will there be a cut? Yes, there is a cut. Tuhin actually in the last few points is really having a good game. He's trying to support his team as much as that. But then, as the commentator's kiss of death, as you say, as you just praise the. Let's see. I hope he's not injured. He seems to be holding. Such, but yes, the presence of Rakesh naturally over there has did put a lot of pressure on Matthew, which naturally might have caused the turnover. But I would have probably thought that Matthew ये शायद पकड़ लेते. But yes, coming to the point vertical stack, as you can see, Mac ने अभी वो डिस्क बाहर लेके आएंगे एंड जोन के. तो जो डंप गिव एंड गो कर रहे हैं वही चल रहा है, उनका कोई कट ही नहीं आ रहा है. Tuhin trying to give the cut, but Sahil obviously is minusing that out. There is a hammer to Karan, which is a breakthrough. Dhwani asking for the disc and she has got the disc. Will they take the huck? No, they will not take the huck. I don't think that's a good idea to take the huck. Yeah, Arushi has got the dump, which is a nice time to bring her in the play as well. Tuhin trying to support again. That actually should have been relatively easy catch. Because it's a turnover. Parshuram, he is going to connect. He has to throw this. Oh, he should have actually looked for deep instead of Ganesh, I thought. And Ganesh, I think, has pulled a muscle. I think he might get an injury call. He seems to be holding his knees or his calf. Probably dehydration also coming in. He's also playing savage. If you can see, Ganna on the disc again. Breakthrough, very easy breakthrough. For someone with the Ganna skill level, that breakthrough is very easy to do, and Sahil has got the disc, and that is 3-point lead. Because of the something red shiny is feet.
Oh, that might quite be possible. We remember Iceman making it out suddenly, making sudden appearance in the end zones out of nowhere with his epic run. So that might be the case. The team is up 8-5. I think the strategy that Mumbai Bantais are playing, they are sticking to their own strategy. They are not reading into somebody else's, which actually is a great way to play a game. It has helped them also. It helped them come back from 5-2 to like 6-5 at some point in the game. So that was working for them. But currently, it really needs a lot more energy, a lot more fast movement is what Mumbai Bantais should be looking for, because it's a 3-point lead for Cutting Chai, and at the end of the day, it's winner takes all. So Even if they go for a draw, they can manage 1 point. That would be great. They are already coming from one victory against afterburners. So it's just back-to-back matches, and one has to empathize. One has to empathize with the energy level of both the teams. As you can see on the other field, if you see a bit, you see afterburners also coming out a bit tired. They had a very interesting match too. I think that match was going up like 9-1 when I last heard. 9-1, yeah, on that field. So that way we see that maybe we'll need to rethink a bit, if possible, the format, the breaks given between two matches, or at least the hydration should be brought in closer, energizers and all those things. A bit more support would be required from the sidelines, I think, for these ultimately to actually have the second half as great as the first half.